After y'all hear this, I just want to know what you guys feel about the situation. Tory Lanez is, doing a 10-year bid here in California for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion. I never believed Meg. I thought this. I believed her at one point, and then as more information came out, I switched up. I said, no, I don't believe her. I think she's lying. And anyway, he was stabbed about 14 times. 2 of his lungs collapsed. He's in stable condition, but it was a serious attack. He was stabbed a couple times in the ribs, in the back. I think he got a couple in the back of the head or somewhere, they said. And now one of the security guards that was close with Meg and the friend who was in the SUV, who is now no longer cool with them, so they potentially had a falling out, has come out and said, you know what? I lied. I kind of stayed quiet, and I actually saw Meg's best friend shoot Meg.
Yeah, and I'm tired of these niggas,
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times.
That's some bullshit.
In essence,
Crazy.
Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
Wow.
Never even touched that gun. Never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson.
Crazy.
Even though unknown DNA was found on the gun.
That's crazy. Understand, unknown DNA was found on the gun. You only took the blood of Mr. Peterson, which was a freaking Tory Lanez. You didn't take the blood of Meg, the friend, or the driver?
Mm-hmm.
You set him up. This is set up.
Yeah.
This is the people who wanted to protect Meg.
Yep.
She probably got some people. Man, you worth too much money, bitch. You got to do this agenda, ho. All right, we gonna throw that nigga on the bus. He don't sell no records.
My thing is though is that he got money like in Tory Lanez. He be in a lot of different shit. Why is he in general population and not PC'd up, bro? Or in another
No, he's somewhere. He ain't in GP.
But I'm saying,
no way.
they just said he got stabbed up.
That don't mean that you got stabbed up in GP. Everybody get yard time. What 23/7. He probably even got that. He probably got a few hours. He probably in a nice, high clientele area, protected. But even they go into get airtime. They go outside and do a little workout with other good behavior or protected people.
Somebody else that
got to somebody else. And somebody else got
him.
Yeah, they had an argument.
Who stabbed him is in for murder as well.
See, there you go.
Crazy.
So why would he?
Even murderers get in the good graces of staff and they become trustees. You got niggas niggas that doing life sentences that have done 10 15 years, good behavior. They get janitor, you get cook duty, laundry, run mail errands, that type of shit. But murder's a murder.
But he is like a high end figure. That's what I'm saying. For him to be ever in the proximity, in that situation.
unless you're in a lockdown, solitary.
You would see Tory Lanez probably in there with like a lawyer, a doctor, people like that, people accountants.
You think niggas like Tory Lanez is getting star treatment and shit? No,
he's a star.
he gets protected as far as like a VIP, like he's not a regular GP. So he's not in GP. Stop, that nigga's this tall. Come on, he can't even defend himself. What we doing?
Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense?
That's crazy.
Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
Oh shoot, that was one part. He's asking the right questions. Now, check this one out.
There was a 0.01% chance that Tory touched the actual gun itself. Another piece that stood out to me, the call that
Chad saying he was
the
in
prosecution alleged
See?
Tory made confessing to a crime. I listened to that call. I'm sure many of you have as well. I didn't hear a confession. But what really shocked me about it is if my best friend was shot maliciously by someone just 2 to 3 hours before,
Yep.
I wouldn't have answered the call, or if I did, I wouldn't calmly have a conversation with the individual of it.
Yeah.
And certainly I would ask, why did you shoot my friend? And more importantly, I would never have given you my current location out of fear of you finishing the job. That was something that stood out to me. I also, in my op-ed, discussed Kelsey Harris pleading the Fifth Amendment. She wasn't accused of anything by Megan Pete or the police, and to my knowledge, she wasn't under any.
Why we plead the Fifth Amendment if you're just a witness?
'Cause I ain't trying to. Yeah,
She didn't want to
she wanted
incriminate herself.
Yeah.
Bro, all signs pointed to that friend. But yet, let's get this black man up
Why
out
is
of here,
Megan
dog.
protecting her at the same time too, friend or not? Like, bro, you just shot me in the fucking foot, bitch. Like,
But Megan is a puppet. You do what the elites tell you to do.
so the least you think told her, hey, protect that black girl.
Let's get
She
this
has-
thing
she has
up out of
somebody
here,
else.
bro. Because otherwise, what's going to happen? How does it look? Meg got into a fight with her best friend because they were having sex with Tory. Because it was over Tory. It was over the women that Tory was messing with.
Because Tory did say
Like they said,
Tory
Meg
he smashed
found
her.
out that the best friend was sleeping with Tory. Meg got upset, jealous. They start arguing. Best friend pulls a strap. And how does that look towards Meg? She's a rapper, you know. She got to keep up that ghetto appearance.
That
like,
image, yeah.
you know,
But it
I
would
don't
make
care
more
about no
sense. But it would
nigga.
make
Ain't no
sense.
nigga worth shit to me. I take his bucks and split them. But here you are getting shot over a nigga. The narrative don't fit.
Investigation. So why plead the Fifth? What also shocked me is the prosecution gave her immunity. For what? What did she do? Is there an allegation?
Damn, she got an immunity deal,
Yeah, that's crazy.
bro. That shit means like, bro, I'm gonna speak up on this, but
Yeah,
I can't.
but
I can't be. I can't
can't
be
get
accused
charged
for
for
anything. I
anything.
can't be charged for
Yeah.
none of this ever again. You got an immunity deal?
How you get that?
That's crazy.
The DEA.
How do you-
got to go to the DEA or
What type of lawyer did this nigga have?
yeah, the DEA give you that type of
Hey, your
deal.
lawyer was trash. He got bread like that? I don't know.
You got an immunity deal. Immunity deal, bro.
Yeah, but who paid for Meg's shit? Was it Rock Nation?
I'm sure her
I swear it's
Her
Rock
company.
Nation or something like that.
Rock Nation, Live Nation, or UMG, one of them
That's Jay Z
motherfuckers.
and shit though.
Yeah,
God,
apparently
Jay
Jay
or
Z don't like that nigga.
If Jay did it, then
I'm not aware of that.
it
Maybe
makes
some of you
sense.
can answer that question today. During the time of trial, George Gascon, just to take you back to where we were at that particular point, he had just barely won a recall attempt. He lost support in many key demographics of voters. Crime was up in Los Angeles County. And this case would have been a silver bullet for him potentially winning. His policies obviously were bad and people were harmed. So that didn't happen, and thank God it didn't happen. At the heart of this injustice is the misuse of gun enhancement charges, a sentencing tool intended for the most dangerous and violent offenders. In Tory Lanez's case, these enhancements were not supported by evidence. But George Gascon, interestingly enough, who is someone who regularly would drop enhancements or not recommend them, chose to provide enhancements to Tory. And in his case, in any given situation, according to legal analysts I've spoken with, he would do 1 or 3 years if he did it without the enhancement. That's interesting. Why did George Gascon choose to pursue these enhancements?
Jeez.
You know, there's cases I've been looking through which George Gascon has pursued, many in which he utilized these enhancements.
What were the years?
A couple come to mind that I would like to reference here. One, Raymond Danger Gonzalez, a Mexican mafia gang member involved in a premeditated murder of 2 young men in 2017. Despite the brutality of the crime, Gascon didn't recommend enhancements.
Oh shoot!
You premeditated murdered a teenager
And you're in the mafia.
and another individual. Brutal crime. Why would you recommend enhancements, but you would recommend them for Tory? That doesn't make a lot of sense. He also didn't pursue sentencing enhancements for the senseless murder of General Hospital actor Johnny Victor in Los Angeles in 2024. There's a lot of issues with this.
I think that was the guy, the actor that was trying to stop another person from stealing a catalytic converter under a car, and he got smoked for it. I think that's who he's talking
he
about.
died for
I
that
didn't
shit?
know about
Yeah, bro. He was trying to stop somebody from stealing. It was his Cadillac converter or someone else's, and then the motherfucker that stole Cadillac blew him away, killed him and stuff. That's crazy. You got a mafia member. Don't. All right, bro. There's a cover up. It's a scandal.
Yeah.
And bro, if this is true, which it seems to be true, it all makes sense. The other way didn't make sense, bro.
That's probably why
Megan
he
the
got stabbed.
Stallion, that
Probably
scandalous, diabolical, maniacal, filthy person needs to lose everything she got and go straight to prison.
I agree.
What's gonna happen though?
It's not. She's
Nothing's
safe.
gonna happen.
She's
Nothing's gonna-
protected.
she's
What's
fine.
gonna happen?
Yeah,
How
what's
is she
gonna
fine?
Because
We see this.
we see it, but they ain't gonna pursue her. Or they ain't
She
gonna
got
charge her
caught
or
on her little documentary about lying. She said, "Yeah, I had sex with Tory. I
anything.
lied about
that's
it."
Right, that's right. That was
You lied to the Gail.
That was to Gail, right?
Yeah, you lied to Gail, who's a puppet. I remember what she said about Kobe. You lied to Gail, Gail is she's solely responsible for tearing black men down and making them look like monsters. And you did the interview with her, and you lied to her saying that you did not have sex, any intimacy with Tory, only to walk that back a couple years later in your documentary saying that, yeah, I lied, but you know, like, you're a liar then. You lied about a whole lot more than that.
But she probably has a deal where she can say what she want. Certain things she can say.
Dang, the best friend who shot her got immunity. She can't even get in trouble.
That's
She,
the best
Megan
deal.
probably got immunity too, where she's
Nah.
safe, bro.
Nah, that's
Nigga.
perjury. That's
Well,
That
they
shit's
asked her, did
crazy,
she ever
bro.
do this? And she said that. So she basically did perjury already herself a long time ago. She said she slept with Tory, and she said she didn't. That's another thing. She said it was nothing like that. So her saying that is perjury alone. However, she protected, bro. Whoever's protecting her is protect. Like, she's safe.
Of her saying
But
that, there should have been a
Tory-
cross-examination of the shit.
Yeah.
And then and allow Tory to have bail at least.
levels.
Or, like,
Yeah.
For Tory though to get stabbed like
Freak.
that, bro,
That's crazy.
This is some deeper shit.
Yeah,
than it's going on.
I think that's some gang shit. I don't think that has nothing to do with like Megan, but because of what she's done to get him there, it doesn't even matter because it's not going to reflect good on her anyway.
Yeah.
But that's
She's
Yeah, I
really
think
good.
the attack, I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Yeah.
That's just being,
But that's why I said,
especially if y'all said he was in GP. Obviously, then
and he
I
shouldn't be in
understand.
GP because now
Yeah, I agree. He shouldn't.
Snoop Dogg could go. He was in GP because he that's how he grew. That's how he was for he was a kid and how he did. And he can handle that. Tory Lane, no. Snoop Dogg is bigger than Tory Lane, but however, he should have been in general population, bro. I mean, he should have been out of general population. He should have been in. He should have been PC'd up, bro. For real.
Plus, Snoop Dogg's from Cali, right? So, Tory Lanez, I swear he's in Cali. Like when he got stabbed and
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
he was.
yeah.
He's in a
the
California
Cali-
prison, yeah, because the crime happened in
So
LA.
Snoop Dogg's gonna have more fucking connections and respect, for
Family
Cali.
and all that, yeah.
Yeah,
People
and
respect
then
him compared to Tory Lanez. He
Absolutely.
can sing and rap. Nobody gonna respect him like that. Like
That's tough.
Yeah.
Stevenson says, with that said, ultimately, Tory put himself in this situation for messing with thoughts like Meg.
Nah, bro,
After
you
all
can't
this
say that,
started
bro.
because of his mingling with Meg and her ghetto
a
friend.
man who don't
Bro,
get no
you
pussy,
can't
bro.
you can't
You
say
can't
that, bro. Like,
That's-
yo, bro, you can
Yeah.
go out, yeah, and it could be as innocent as, yo, this girl is nice. I just want to go have some spend some time with her. You don't know what the fuck she's on. You don't know that she's gonna set you up and shit like that.
Yeah.
Then you try and get yourself out of the situation, and then because of how everything's going on in society right now, she's not gonna play in your favor. Plus, you're a black male. You got tattoos. You rap.
Got money.
It's long.
Lots
Popular.
of money. Yeah,
It's long.
yeah. I mean, it can happen to any like that, bro. You can meet a woman today, and next
I don't
thing you
think Tory got lots of money. I think that's
know, he was spending bread, bro. He was spending
I think
bread.
he had more money then. Yeah,
He was
after
spending
he
bread, bro.
spent-
He was
yeah,
spending
now-
bread. He was spending a lot of money, and he was doing songs. Think about a lot of songs he's done too. That's bread too alone.
Yeah, but I think
there's
he
not
spent
bread. There's no
majority
bread
of
in
that.
music like that.
Yeah,
bro.
I think he spent majority of that on his lawyers and shit. I don't think he's got the bread that he wants.
Well, now, probably now though, yeah. But yeah.
that's the ultimate thought trap that is and is happening like in front of the public, and we're all seeing it. I don't have enough disrespectful words for Meg the Stallion. The that shit crazy, bro.
It's crazy.
Bro.